right, so since I know everyone is going to be curious about the cameras on this device, let's just start off with the camera test. So the camera is a 16 megapixel camera on the front display. So this is how things are going to look. Let's go ahead and do a quick 360. Now you can also go ahead and snap a picture while you're recording the video. So let's take a quick picture. Boom. All right, so yeah, these are the front cameras. On the display, I look a little reddish and everything looks blown out in the back. So I'm gonna have to wait and see when I get on a bigger display. But yeah, these are the front cameras. Let's go ahead and switch it over to the rear cameras. And so these are the rear cameras. On the back, you do have a 64 megapixel camera along with a 2 megapixel macro camera. So let's go over here. Let's go ahead and take a picture of this. Boom. So yeah, how is the audio? It is recording at 1440p. What I can see in the display, everything looks really good. The sky looks super blue. Everything looks vivid, but gonna have to see what it looks like on a bigger display. So let's see, go ahead and zoom in on that. You can zoom in up to 4 times, so let's do that. So this is zoom at 4. We'll go ahead and zoom back out. You got some nice shadows, nice backdrop over there. I mean, overall, looking through the viewfinder, the video looks really nice. Snap a pic of these rocks. The sky looks nice and blue. The wind is kicking up, so how is the mics handling it? Can you hear my voice, or am I being drowned out by the wind? Overall, I'm actually pretty impressed. What's good, people? It's MediaTek, and today we are checking out the NUU B40. Now, huge shout out to them for sending this out to the channel for a review. As always, if you're interested, the links are going to be down below. Now, while they did send this out, this is not a paid review. This is just my honest thoughts and opinions after about 3 weeks of use. Now, the first week, I had my doubts, I'm not even gonna lie. So I used it as my second device so I could see what it could do. But for the last 12 days, this has been my main device. And I'm just gonna tell you up front, I really like it. Now, starting off with the coolest feature about this phone, this is a dual screen device. So you have a 6.8 full HD plus AMOLED display on the front, which offers 60, 90, and 120 refresh. It's nice and snappy. But on the back is probably the reason you came to this video. You have the 1.6 inch display. Now, I believe this is the Vista display. So let's go ahead and get into it. We'll scroll down. We'll go to settings, scroll all the way down, hit Vista display. Now from here, you can choose the different dials that you have. So right here, so if you go ahead and select this one, you can see it switches over. So you have like 10 different ones to choose from. You have that one, you have this one. This is the one that I really like, the black and red. You know, black and red is my favorite color wave. So of course, that's what I'm gonna be drawn to. You have the others. This one, what's kind of cool about this, you can see it has the little second hand going around the frame of the clock. You have like the city light for this one. You have that one. This one is sort of like nice and classy. And then you have this one as well. So you have 10 options to choose from. But let's go back to, like I said, this is my favorite one. You also have the option of choosing if you want it to be on all the time, like I do, or 15, 30, or 60 seconds. You have the backlight level. So for me, I keep it somewhat dim, but you can go all the way up to level 8. So let's see. So there's 2 where I keep it. And then you have 8 right there. You can see it became really overblown. So since my cameras can't handle all that, let's hit 2 and send it back. You have the display with main screen display, turning the phone over, double tap to wake up or shut down. Display apps and notifications. So if you do have your phone face down like that, and if you get a email or a text, you can see who it's coming from, but you don't have to go into the phone to get to it. So from the back of the phone, you can just swipe. So here you can control your music or whatever you're listening to, whatever audio is coming from your device. You have your camera here. So if you go ahead and hit that right there, you can see there's what I'm recording with. If you hit that right there, it will go ahead and take a picture. So if you pull down, you can exit out the camera. You can come over here, then you have your little compass. So if you rotate it, you can see in which direction you're going in. Now, I'm not the outdoor type, so probably not something I'm going to be using, but yo, I'd rather have it and not need it. You know how the rest of it goes. That's a really cool feature. Now, for now, this is all that you can use, but I do hope that maybe there's some more down the line, or that, you know, version 2, they have some more, but I absolutely love that. We have all these $1,000 plus devices and they're not doing this, but this budget device is doing it and it actually works. Yo, that is so cool. Now, that's not it. You also have, with this phone, you have a 5,000 milliamp battery. So I will say, like, the first 2 days, it was getting like 4.5 hours. But once I switched it over to my main device, check this out. Let's go to settings. Let's go down to battery usage. You can see I took this off the charger at 2 in the morning. It is 7:20 p.m. and I'm at 8 hours and 21 minutes of screen on time. When I tell you this is a battery champ, this device is a battery champ. I'm wanted for most devices for killing batteries off. This one can get you through the full day. Absolutely love that. Like I said, it does have a 5,000 milliamp battery, but not only that, it has 30-watt charging from the brick that came in the box along with the charging cable. You actually got an unboxing experience. I know you saw that. You got the case, you got the brick, you got the cable, a full unboxing experience. But yeah, like I said, remember at all times, this is a budget device. Now, you have a under display fingerprint sensor and face unlock. The fingerprint sensor isn't going to be something that goes right away. You do have to lay your finger on it, but once you have it set up and you know where to put your finger, it works every single time with no issues. Let's go ahead and boom. I keep thinking it's double tap just because I love phones that you can double tap to turn the screen on. This one doesn't have that if you don't have like a launcher, but you know, I'm using it full stock, so have to make sure that I'm actually testing it out. So I'm not using that feature, but yeah, the fingerprint sensor works every time along with face unlock. Let's go ahead and try out face unlock, not looking at it, flip it up just like that. One more time. As long as you do it, as long as you set it up properly, it's gonna work every single time with no issues at all. Now, I will say, if you do use face unlock, if you use face unlock and you try to turn your phone on in the middle of the night, it attempts to light the screen up so it can see you. It will blind you. The screen gets so dark. So be careful with that face unlock. You had your warning. You heard it here first. But yeah, you also have a SIM card slot, but it's not just a SIM card. It's a dual SIM. In a time where every company is switching to eSIM, I don't want that to go unnoticed. I appreciate that we don't have to use eSIM with this device. Just bought, you know what, the $1,000 plus Pixel 10 Pro XL and can't even put a SIM card in that phone. But in this phone, you can use 2 SIM cards, use 2 different phone numbers. Like I said, I don't want that to go unnoticed. Thank you. Now, something else that's not going to show up on paper, but I feel is very important, the weight of this device. This device is really light. Everyone's making a big deal out of the iPhone Air coming in at like 165 grams right now. But this device isn't. Look, this is what I was showing you. See how bright that gets? It gets so bright. But yeah, like I was saying, the iPhone Air is 165 grams. This isn't too far behind. It's 188 grams, and it's definitely noticeable. It's one of the first things I noticed when I pull it out of the box. I can wear basketball shorts and it's not pulling my pocket down. I really like the change up. Depending on if you use your phone like I do, you don't have to be putting all that weight on your pinky now, doing the pinky Olympics. You can just, this phone is so light. I promise you, you are gonna notice that right away. And I think that's why I've been keeping my main SIM card in it, because it's a nice change up. But yeah, it also comes with Android 15 out the box. 256 gigs of storage, 8 gigs of RAM on board, and you can also do 6 digital RAM if that's what you want to use. Now, the viewing experience on this device is great. Like I said, it's a 6.8 Full HD curved AMOLED display. Now, it really just boils down to if you liked curved displays or flat displays. Neither one bothers me. I can use either one just fine. It just comes down to your preference. But like I said, I can watch Netflix. I can watch my anime. I can catch up on YouTube. No problems at all. Let's go ahead and check something out real quick. Said you can watch your shows without any problems. You're not losing out on any quality. It looks amazing. Now, one thing I am not a fan of is the single speaker at the bottom. It gets decently loud. You could probably hear how decent the speaker is. I continue to say decent because that's really what it is. But it can be drowned out. If you have like a lot of background noise, it can get drowned out. But that's not the biggest deal breaker for me, because I use earbuds like 97% of the time. And since it does have Bluetooth 5.2, I've had no issues with connection at all. But still, the single speaker is a dislike of mine, so I figured I'd mention it. The UI software has been surprisingly good. Not amazing, but better than what I was expecting. Like I said, I was using this device as my second line just so I could see how it would hold up, and it held up just fine with no issues. It's basically stock software, not much bloatware. It has the MediaTek 7025 chip, meaning in short, it can handle what your average person needs it to handle without a problem, no issues. This little phone is a beast. Now, you might see some slowdown in certain games depending on what you play, but the games that I've played, I have no problems. So like I said, depending on what games you play, I know I don't play the most popular games, but the games I've played, I have no issues at all. And now last and certainly least, and I do mean least in my book, actual phone calls. I mean, who buy phones to actually talk on them? I don't. Seriously, I don't. I do everything but talk on the phone. But when I do have to take a call, I've had no complaints from them. I could hear them loud. They could hear me fine. I've used it on both US Mobile and T-Mobile and had full coverage. When I was using US Mobile, because they're on the Verizon network, I had a few problems with call connections, but as soon as I switched it over to T-Mobile, after the second week, I haven't had any issues with calls. People say I sound great. They sound great. But seriously, just because there's no call issues or call drop connections, don't call me. Like I said, text me. I prefer to text. But I love the haptics in vibration on this phone when you're texting and when you're gaming and you feel the haptic feedback. Yo, this phone is great to be a budget device. Overall, my experience after close to 3 weeks, this is an easy recommendation for a lot of people, from your teenagers to your parents, or even for tech heads for a second device coming in at $300. I'm telling you now that I'm using this next to all the heavy hitters. I have the Google Pixel 10 Pro. I have the Z Fold 7. While there is a difference, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there is no difference. There is definitely a difference, but is there a $600 to $900 to $1,800 difference? I don't see it. Maybe it's just me, but overall, coming in at around $300 before taxes, this is a win. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll catch you in the next one. It's V Does Tech. Later.